Have you heard of a king with the gift of wisdom whose downfall was caused by his harem of 1,000 women? This is the story of Solomon, the wisest, richest, and most powerful king in biblical history. He made Israel great, but had one weakness: women. His desire for women clouded his judgment, and although Solomon had everything to be the greatest king of Israel, he ended up being the worst. God gave Solomon the gift of wisdom, making Israel a powerful kingdom full of wealth and trade relations with distant realms. However, his harem included 700 wives and 300 concubines, each from different parts of the known world. Women from Egypt, Moab, Ammon, Edom, and Sidon lived in his magnificent court, turning the palace into a mix of cultures. These unions brought political alliances, but also introduced foreign gods and practices, challenging the faith of Israel. In this video, we will explore Solomon's story, from his incredible legacy of wisdom to his downfall. Was he really able to control the demons? What were the consequences of his death for the kingdom of Israel? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications for more incredible biblical stories. Let's start in ancient Jerusalem in 990 BC, where a new prince named Solomon was born. Solomon, whose name means peaceful and friend of God, was conceived from the relationship between Bathsheba and King David, the brave shepherd who defeated Goliath. However, Solomon's story began with a dark secret: the adulterous relationship between King David and Bathsheba, who was married to Uriah the Hittite, a brave soldier in David's army. In a desperate attempt to hide his sin, David sent Uriah to war and ensured his death in battle. God's eyes were not blind to the king's actions, and the death of David and Bathsheba's first son was seen as divine judgment. But amid sadness and repentance, God forgave King David, and from that reconciliation, Solomon was born. Solomon grew up under the tutelage of the wise prophet Nathan, who became his mentor and guide, shaping his mind and spirit. Nathan saw an extraordinary destiny in Solomon and began to weave a bold plan to make him the heir to the throne. Despite Solomon not being David's first, Nathan convinced King David that Solomon was destined to be the heir. When David fell ill and approached death, he named Solomon as his legitimate successor. Solomon, only 15 years old, knew his reign was born under threat, with resolution beyond his years. Solomon secured his power, eliminating potential threats, including Joab, David's chief general, and Adonijah, his rival for the throne. Solomon then set out to strengthen the military and forged an alliance with the Pharaoh of Egypt, taking the Pharaoh's daughter as his first wife. One quiet night, God appeared to Solomon in a dream, offering him anything he wished. Solomon humbly asked for wisdom to govern his people. Pleased with his request, God granted him unparalleled wisdom and discernment.
Solomon's wisdom became legendary, attracting people from all nations. One memorable judgment involved two women claiming to be the mother of the same baby. Solomon proposed cutting the baby in half, revealing the true mother when she begged to give up her child to save its life. Solomon also built the first temple of Israel, forging an alliance with King Hiram of Tyre for the necessary materials. The temple was constructed with unmatched precision and beauty, creating a sacred space of unparalleled splendor. Solomon's palace, an architectural masterpiece, reflected his power and wealth, consolidating Israel as an economic power. However, Solomon's wisdom and prosperity led to temptation. Despite God's warnings, he amassed a harem of 700 wives and 300 concubines. This web of relationships brought foreign gods into Israel, challenging the faith of his people. Idolatry took root, and Solomon's judgment became clouded. God, angered by Solomon's actions, warned that the kingdom would be divided after his death. Solomon's disobedience and idolatry led to the rise of adversaries like Jeroboam, who was anointed to rule over 10 tribes of Israel. In a moment of clarity, Solomon turned his heart back to God, recognizing the futility of his idolatry. Solomon's writings, including Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Songs, offer profound wisdom and reflections on life. His final repentance demonstrated the importance of keeping God at the center of our lives. After a 40-year reign, Solomon died, leaving behind a legacy of wisdom and splendor, but also a kingdom on the brink of fracture. His story serves as a reminder that even the wisest and most powerful can fall when they turn away from God.